What's up, everybody, and welcome to Buzzworthy TV, and I'm your girl, Lady T. So, last night, the internet exploded with all this stuff that happened with Keke Palmer and her ex-boyfriend, baby daddy, Darius, okay? Y'all, listen, I know I'm always all bubbly and always want to keep this positive, and I still want to keep this not necessarily positive, because unfortunately this is not what Keke went through. Was a horrific situation, and honestly it's nothing positive that I can make out of this. Yes, I can. Let me take that back. I can make this a positive situation by shedding some light on how, number one, we treat celebrities, number two, how we treat black women, and number three, how we treat people, men and women, who are victims of abuse. So that's how we're going to put a positive spin on this. But it's going to be a very serious conversation today, okay? But before we get into it, you all, I am going to need you all to do me a few things. Number one, like the video. Number two, subscribe to my channel. And number three, drop a comment down in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, y'all. So let's get into it. So last night, I want to say about 8 p.m. Eastern time, because you know I'm on that East Coast time, y'all. Detroit. Okay. So around 8 o'clock Eastern time, the blog started erupting with the story of Keke Palmer. It reads, Keke Palmer files for full custody of 8-month-old son amidst Darius Jackson drama. Okay? Now, let me tell you, and we're going to go through this, because, so get your water, get your wine, get whatever you need, because this is going to be a lengthy video, okay? Now, this all started with that story at first. This was from Radar Online, TMZ. They got hold of court documents that she had filed for sole custody. Not joint custody, not anything but sole custody. So, I was on the Neighborhood Talks site, and I went under the comment section when this first was posted, and I want you all to just listen to some of the disgusting things that people were saying, not even knowing the full story. But this is what some people were saying. Number one, something about her gives off master manipulator. I don't like it. Okay, you don't even know what happened for her to file sole custody, but you calling her master manipulator. Okay, it's women are always the problem. No one ever want to hear the full story. They just always want to blame the women. Okay. And then someone else said, bro, if he got an active father, don't take that from your child. Cruel. Now, I would agree. But first, we got to hear the full story before we can be attacking her, saying that she just want to up and take the father out of the child's life, you know? Okay. Now, this is another one that kind of triggered me. One moment, I'm about to find it. Somebody joking said, should have never gotten her pregnant, shaking my head. She always been crazy. Where do people on social media just get off just saying anything? That's what I want to know. That's what's infuriating me. Now, I know we get on the internet, we kiki, and it's all for, you know, ish and giggles and all that type of stuff. I get it. You know, you'll see me in the comment sections too, popping my mess and comment. So I get it. It's all for fun. We get on here. We want to state our opinion on what's going on with these celebrities. I get it. But when something like this goes on, when it's a serious matter, particularly dealing with abuse or stuff like that, I see a lot of people, man, a lot of callous and heinous comments. And I've been noticing that even since when we were following the Tory Lanez and Megan Stallion case. There were police reports, pictures of her, pictures of blood everywhere coming from her foot, pictures of bullet wounds. So people still wanted to blame Meg. Same thing with Kiki. Don't know the story, knowing that she was all about her little family, her, Darius, and their little son, Leo. So something had to have triggered her to want to get sole custody. But no, everybody just wants to just say, oh, she a bitter baby mama. She just want to take her son away. Okay. I want to read something else and then we're going to move on. This got to be a money move not to pay him child support due to financial differences. Now, I get it. Some people will pull that move like, yeah, I'm going to get joint custody so I don't got to pay child support. But I just didn't feel that from Kiki. I felt like she was on the type of time that if they had broke up amicably, of course you could see your son. So from the beginning, I knew something was wrong. And this one says, Virgo sister, I don't approve. No amount of money can replace his father. Love don't take that from him because y'all differences. Okay. Now, so that's what people were saying initially when this first happened, okay? Everybody was trying to say, oh, Kiki being bitter. She trying to X the father out of the baby's life, so she don't gotta pay child support because she make the most money and she filed for that. And men always get the short end of the stick. And I agree, sometimes men do get the short end of the stick. But I just had a feeling on how he was moving. If you all paid attention to the whole Usher incident, yeah, Kiki was out there looking pretty and she was wearing, some revealing clothes or whatever, but the way he handled it, put her on blast instead of just waiting till she got home and dealing with it one-on-one behind closed doors. Number one, because she is a public figure. Number two, because she's a private person. She don't put all her stuff on the internet all like that. Okay? So you just instead want to open the door for everybody else to drag her and be in and on y'all business about what she wore. And open the door for people to scrutinize her motherhood because but you a mother and all this other stuff. All that type of stuff. Like, what kind of mother are you dressed like that? Insinuating crap like that. So I didn't like that approach in the first place. That always gave me a red flag, because why open the door for something like that? That's very manipulative, narcissistic behavior to me. So then later on, I'm not even gonna say later on, I want to say within an hour, we get more news. We're learning that not only did she file for sole custody, but she was seeking a restraining order against Darius amidst physical and mental abuse allegations, okay? Now, they got a hold, outlets got a hold of the court documents in regards to why she wanted a restraining order. And part of that, she was saying that the abuse mentally and physically has been going on for the past 2 years, basically since they've been together, because they've been together since 2021, okay? So a lot of people were saying, well, if this has been going off and on for 2 years, why were you still with him? Better yet, why did you even have a baby with him? And I'm like, okay, first of all, it always takes people who have never, I'm not even going to say never, because there are some people who are or have been in abusive relationships who will sit up there and still blame the victim, even though they're victims themselves. So I'm not even going to say it's people who've never been in that situation, because there has been people who have been in that situation and still find ways to blame the victim. I don't know how, but they do. Okay? So with that being said, she was saying that it had been going on since the beginning of their relationship, and that she has surveillance footage of him tearing up her personal property, such as her diaries, designer glasses, him, grabbing on her, slapping her, throwing her on couches and things of that nature. Okay? And she said that the last straw was, well, actually, she said they broke up in October, the beginning of October, because she just didn't want her son being a witness and being a part of this toxic relationship. So for the betterment of her son, she had to walk away. But on November the 5th, he was trespassed. He came into the house. She was on the phone. He demanded to see their son. She was like, first of all, how you get in here? Second of all, our son ain't even here. And she asked him to leave. She followed him down the stairs to see if he was going to leave. He stayed planted downstairs, still demanded to see his son. And she, again, said the son wasn't there. He started getting belligerent, saying he wasn't leaving until he saw the son. She then said she was going to call the police. He grabbed the phone and then also threw her across on the couch. And all this is caught on the surveillance camera. First of all, bro, you came in there unannounced. Second of all, the kid ain't even there. Third of all, keep your hands to yourself. Fourth of all, I'm glad that it was caught on camera, because again, a lot of people want to blame Kiki and and saying they didn't believe it and all this. So we're going to go into the comments of what some people were saying when this first got released, that she was seeking a restraining order. Okay? Give it one moment, y'all. It's loading. One moment. Okay, not to bring up old mess, but is he the one who violated her privacy with the diary? If so, having a baby was crazy. So I guess this commenter was saying that it was an issue where they got into it and he was like reading her diary and basically just invading her privacy when it came to the thoughts that she was writing down in her diary. And I'm like, so you saying, okay, he violated your privacy once, so why go on and stay with him and then have a baby? A lot of people, and I need people to stop blaming the victims, because a lot of people get manipulated, because it's not always all bad. It always starts off good. And then on top of that, you always get this hope that it's going to change. Even the men will be like, or the women, because men can be abused too. The person will always say, oh, I'm going to change. I'm sorry. Shoot, love bomb you. I'm so sorry. I'll never do this again. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. And they will. In the beginning, it does sound all good. They love bombing you. They doing everything. They being cognizant. They doing everything in their power to show you that they've changed and doing, catering to you. Even some people will even go to therapy saying, I need help. I don't know what the problem is. I had a very, they even blame their childhood or things of that nature. And so you think, well, maybe he's changed, or maybe, if I love them through that they'll change. And it doesn't happen. So you find yourself just chasing what you had before, and it's this never-ending cycle. So that's just a little insight on how some people think when they're in these abusive relationships, and why they tend to keep going back over and over again. Just for people who don't know or have never experienced being in these toxic relationships. Okay? Because yes, this is very triggering that people were blaming her, but I want people to understand some people who are in these relationships, their thought process, okay? One moment. One. Yep. Now, this is something that somebody said. I do want to point this out. This is not bashing. This is actually something that somebody pointed out, and I pointed out too. This says, oh, this is why Krishan said Kiki was able to relate but didn't want to speak on it too much. Hate this for her. Exactly. If you guys watched the Jason Lee interview, which I know a lot of you did, Krishan got 3.5 million views. Congratulations, Krishan, on your interview with Jason Lee. She did say, when she did talk to Kiki, she said, I had to apologize to Kiki because Kiki was just reaching out to me and I didn't really read what she was saying for real. I just thought that she was on some BS like everybody else because everybody was just commenting on my situation. I know when they comment, they be on some BS, so I'd be ready to just spaz out. And she said that was my bad because Kiki was not reaching out to drag me, and when I called her and we talked one-on-one, we really was able to love on each other and we could really relate to each other. She said, I'm not gonna go into it because that's TMI for her, but we could really relate and we were able to love on each other. And now that all this is coming together, I get it. They come from the same toxic situation. It's just that Krishan is so blatant with it, and Kiki is the type that is not gonna be like putting everything out on the internet. She gonna do what so many people be begging these that we be begging these celebrities to do, which is handle that behind closed doors. Why don't y'all go to the police? Why y'all coming to us? What we gonna do? Well, she did, okay? And she's still getting blamed. Everybody still wanna drag her for coming to the police. They want to still say, oh, she the problem. Let's continue. Okay? Here we go, y'all. Let's see. One moment. Kiki is going outside. This is the Dusty she chose to get pregnant by. Even though Uncle Steve tried to warn her and link her to better men, Kiki enough black women to date down and chose a man based on love and not resources because men with money will abuse you and everything. But she's paying for a dude that and getting hands put on her. The only rich men or men with money did this. Stop dating Dusties. Now that sounds real stupid. So this person is saying, to be clear, this person is basically saying, oh, okay, so Steve tried to hook you up with better quality men, but no, you wanted to date somebody because you loved him, and see where that got you. I blame Kiki because she should have never dated somebody below her tax bracket. What that got to do with it? And the person did say, not that rich men can abuse you or manipulate you, but at least it's not below your tax bracket, and that's what she basically get for dating a Dusty. No, abuse is abuse, and I don't care what type of money you got or tax bracket or type of clout you got. If you're abusive, you're abusive, and she shouldn't have got with no type of man, rich or not. If that person's gonna be abusive, she should get away from him no matter what is going on with his income. Mm. Okay. Okay. So then we get his brother. Now his brother who used to play on Insecure has something to say, y'all. He decides to chime in on the chat, okay? I don't know why. Nobody asked for his opinion, but here we go. Okay? He chimes in and says, the most disgusting, vile, abusive, manipulative person I have ever encountered in my entire life. Abuses almost everyone. Y'all will see. Just send positive energy to the babies. Any child in the middle of something like this does not deserve it at all. Wow, so damn sad. You think? You're right. It is sad. It is sad that your brother Darius can't keep his hands to himself. It's sad that despite him having a history of being abusive, that she still tried to work it out for the sake of their family. But obviously, he still couldn't keep his hands to himself. So she had to, again, for the sake of her son and her mental health, she had to cut it off. Okay? And I'm so glad she did. I'm so glad she cut it off in October, because guess what? It's so many women that suffer in silence for years on top of years, decades on top of decades, and some women don't even get it out, don't even make it out alive, okay? So I'm glad people want to say, oh, what took her so long? Oh, why she continued to stay? I'm glad that it only took her 2 years to figure this out, okay? And I'm glad her baby was only 8 months, so basically she can rebuild his mental health and he can forget all about this, and she can have him and raise him in a healthy, safe environment surrounded by love, okay? Because again, people suffer years on top of years in abusive relationships, okay? And they bring whole families into this, where kids grow up and seeing nothing but abuse. So the fact that she had enough sense to get out early, I applaud her. We're not gonna drag her, okay? So anyway, that's what his stinking brother said, okay? And I'm like, bro, you really need to go somewhere and sit down, okay? And then her mother finally chimes in. Now, you know Mama Sharon don't never chime in, but she had something to say. And so we're going to listen to what Mama Sharon had to say, okay?
Never done anything like this. I've been in this business for 22 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but this is I can't help myself. For Sharonis Jackson to post on his Twitter, the ridiculous stuff that he's posted when he knew his brother was abusive. I went to Sharonis over a year ago and told him that his brother was abusive to my daughter. And he said, well, I used to be like that too. What? So now he's posting on Twitter like he's this special guy. We know he's the biggest fuckboy in Hollywood. He's disrespectful to women, just like his little brother. He taught his brother how to be abusive. So he don't get to act like he's this special guy. No, you're a fuckboy and you're a part of the problem.
I agree. First of all, I don't know what the heck he was saying with that tweet. I don't know if he was trying to blame Kiki. I don't know if he was trying to call out your brother. I do not know. But what I'm saying is, you shouldn't even put your 2 cents in, because like she said, the mama been trying to talk to you for over a year to say, hey, talk to your brother. What's wrong with your brother? He needs to keep his hands off my child and stop being mentally abusive to her, stop manipulating her and all that. And you just want to just chuck it up to, oh, boys will be boys. He young. You know, I used to do that. He'll grow out of it. Boy, bye. You, as she said, are part of the problem. And then he had the nerve to respond. So let's hear his weak response, y'all. Okay, so he goes under the Shade Room's post from what Mama Sharon was saying. And he says, quote me, I never once said that to Sharon. Not once in my life. I have never been abusive to any of the women I have ever been involved with. I'm not going to keep up with this circus. But Sharon, the world is about to hear your voice very soon. And the threats you made to my family. Be well, everyone. I know it's easy to get caught up in this, but make no mistakes that all of this is very sad. Okay, so I guess he called himself about to expose Mama Sharon. And guess what? When he do release them videos or audios, whatever he called himself about to release, all it is gonna be Mama Cher probably threatening him and his whole family because they putting their hand, because Darius is putting his hands on her child. Y'all family member, y'all brother, y'all son, y'all nephew is putting his hands on her child. So as a mother, she's going to go the F in, okay? Listen, I've come from a family where my sister was in an abusive relationship for over 10 years. And yes, we ride down at midnight, okay? Okay? We don't play that. So yeah, that's probably what you're going to hear. And rightfully so, okay? Rightfully so. And then Darius got the nerve to be out here trying to, I don't know why he's even on the internet, trying to control social media, trying to paint himself out to be the good guy or just be his narcissistic self. I don't know. But he's on Twitter talking about, I love you, son, see you soon, with a picture of him and a baby. I'm like, bro, until you go to counseling and get help for your abusive ways, you don't deserve to see that son. Kiki already put in court documents that you be aggressive with the son, that you low-key jealous of the baby because she be paying attention to the baby and not you. No. You're not going to see your son until you get help. You don't deserve that right now, okay? Until you learn how to keep your hands to yourself and keep control of your emotions, okay? So then, after the still shots were released, okay, that she submitted, Kiki submitted still shots from her surveillance photos, okay, from when he was putting his hands on her. A lot of people had a lot to say about that too, so we're going to get into that, okay? Now, some people were saying in the comments that, oh, why she released this? And I'm like, she didn't release it. She did, as I said in the beginning of this video, what so many people in the comments and on social media be begging celebrities to do. She kept it behind closed doors, okay? She did. She kept behind closed doors. She went straight to the police. Because we on social media, we can't do nothing. We not in their house. So she called the police, had the police report. She filed for sole custody, and she signed a restraining order. She did everything she was supposed to do. She didn't run the social media. What happened was, court documents are public knowledge. The blogs picked it up, and now they following the story. They sitting up here. They posting her deposition that she submitted to court documents about what happened, what led up to this, wanting her to have full custody, what led up to her wanting to seek sole custody, what led to the restraining order, and she submitted evidence. So that's all public record. So now the blogs are posting it out there. Now some people are like, why is the blogs posting this? And I agree. She didn't bring this to us. She's trying to handle this behind closed doors. Kiki has always been private about her relationships. The only reason, like she said, we even knew about this because she really was in love with him. Like she said, that was like her best friend, and they was always around. So it made no sense not to, acknowledge their relationship. And even then, we knew they were together, but it wasn't like she was constantly posting about their relationship and putting it in our face, okay? And even when it was going through their thing after the Usher concert, she kindly told us to mind our business. And I don't even think she was saying that for us to be, to be mean or try to, how do I say this? Try to make us feel less than. It's just that we're going to always have our opinions, and when she does bring it to social media, she's going to get dragged for it. Like, remember Gunplay's baby mama? Yeah, she has her issues. I don't agree with everything that Gunplay, wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, has done on Love and Hip Hop, but I'm not going to discredit what Gunplay has done to her. Okay? and all the toxic behavior that has been exhibited and the court violence. But everybody want to drag her what she did on some reality show and what she said on social media. And you have somebody like Kiki who is asking us to stay out of it so she can handle it privately, and it's still posted for the whole world to see. So honestly, when you're a celebrity, you can't win for losing. That's another thing. You know, I'm just want to just take this video just to shed light on a lot of things that was just said throughout the night that I'm just like, really? Really? Now, you do have a lot of supporters for Kiki. I'm not dissuading that. I just want to just quiet some of the madness that is still posted on social media in regards to her, because she didn't deserve this at all. She didn't deserve for this to be plastered all online because she tried to handle this in the correct fashion, which was behind closed doors and with the police. She did deserve to be dragged initially for trying to seek sole custody. They automatically just went to her just trying to claiming to be a bitter baby mama, when that definitely wasn't the case. And then when the restraining order came out, some people didn't want to believe her. And now that there's evidence out here, now it's, oh, why they release it? No, we need to see the video. No offense to our good sis Kiki, but he could have been restraining her. We need to see the video. What? So this is what somebody said when the still shots were posted on the neighborhood talk. And I'm going to read it again because I just was going through the comments to discuss, you know, how some people were saying that this shouldn't have been posted. And here, the first thing I see is somebody being ignorant. So I'm going to read it again. We need to see the video. No offense to our good sis Kiki, but he could have been restraining her. We need to see the video. So now y'all need to see the video. What is wrong with people? You have evidence on top of evidence in front of your face, and you still want to victim blame. This is what's wrong with our society. And I hate to say it, but it be our own people. Like, what else did this girl have to do? I can't believe this person said that. Y'all, drop it down in the comments. What's wrong with our community? And the reason why I'm saying our community, because I feel like we need to deal with home first before we sit out here and bash everybody for not respecting us. You know, we need to respect ourselves. Okay, so I want to hold accountability within our community about not upholding our black women to a standard in regards to respecting them, showing them grace. Okay, especially when it comes to abuse. Now, I understand we have women who will lie for clout and do all sorts of things. You know, we got people who will lie so they don't have to pay child support. We have all those things. But when you have evidence on top of evidence, and you still have ignorant people saying, nah, we still need more evidence, that's where I draw the line. And that's when I get infuriated. Because it's like, what more do you want to see? Just, to me, somebody who feel like that, that's watching this video, please put down in the comments. What more do you want to see? There's still shots from her surveillance camera that she submitted for evidence when she requested a restraining order. And she already said that when they go to trial in December, she's going to play the whole video and the audio. What more do y'all want to see? I never understood that. Okay? And then, like I said, it's the Megan Thee Stallion all over again. Again, you saw blood everywhere from the helicopter photos. You saw bullet wounds. Pictures of bullet wounds. You saw where the medical document said that there were bullet fragments found in her foot. But yeah, you know, it didn't happen. Same thing with Kiki. You still want to make this her fault. First, she a bitter baby mama. She was trying to get out of child support. Then it's, she got a restraining order. I don't believe her. I don't believe he did what she said she did. What she said he did. Now there's actual photos, and it's, nah, he could have been restraining her. What? Why are all these excuses instead of just holding men accountable? The reason why I'm saying holding them accountable, because maybe if they're held accountable, then they will learn how to be better men. And then we as a society of African American people can then heal and then be better in society. And then we can go out here and challenge these people who disrespect us. We want to sit up there and call somebody racist, be so ready to drag them. But we disrespect ourselves. We drag ourselves. We blame ourselves. We bully ourselves. If a white person says something about Kiki saying that, she always want to be the victim or they didn't believe her, we'll be the first ones to go off on them and say they racist and all this other stuff. But it's our own people dragging her the same way. What's the difference? So until we fix ourselves within our community, we have no right to sit up there and be demanding all this respect. Well, we don't even respect ourselves, y'all. We always want to drag our own people, and I just don't understand that. This just tripped me out. This comment is literally triggering me. We need to see video because he could have been restraining you. Wow. My question is, why is this coming out now, a whole year later? Why have a baby after that's two sides to the story? They both guilty. What is wrong with people? Y'all, put this down in the comments. Am I overreacting? And if so, please enlighten me why people are still asking, why is this coming out now? And there's two sides to every story. They're both guilty. Like there hasn't been women who've dealt with decades of abuse, who had not one kid, but a whole family full of children, like 4, 5, 6 kids, been living with abusive men for over 20, 30 years, okay? My grandmother was with my grandfather for over 40 years, shooting to the day he died. Actually 50 years to the day he died, and he was abusive to her. Yeah, as they grew older, he wasn't as abusive, but all throughout my parents growing up, they talked about how he was abusive. Okay, and like I said, they were together up until my grandfather passed away, and she had 3 kids by him. So what are you talking about? Why is it? Oh, why she stayed so long? Why she have a baby by her? Why not hold that man accountable? And maybe I'm missing something, so I'm asking you all to put that down in the comments. So anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. Tell me what y'all think about this. I honestly think that Kiki handled this whole situation the way she should have. Away from social media, she went straight to the police, and she's protecting her son and herself. When she saw that this was going to be a continued pattern, she finally, like she said, she left him back in October because it wasn't going to end. Okay, like she said, they tried therapy, it wasn't working. So honestly, what else was she supposed to do but leave the relationship, which she did? So y'all, put it down in the comments section of what y'all think. Till next time, y'all, peace and love.